Hello, good morning. How are you all doing today? We're going to be continuing to work on the diesel course today. And that was a Zilby meow. Hey, want to come over and say hi? It's Itsu. Hello. How are you doing today? Let me see if Zilby wants to say hi. Kind of. He walked into the closet behind me. So, uh that there's that. All right. So, it has been a short while since we've done anything here. I believe we did create insert last time, so we're working on update this time. What? Zilby? He's like in the closet asking me for to go in and hang out with him, I guess. You're good. You're making steady progress in your project. Now moving forward after going back 10 steps. I mean, isn't that how projects work? We are constantly moving forward, backward, and and then eventually it gets done or we drop it. Or it just sits there for a long time, all the fun things of projects, right? All right, update. So, I do have diesel update. So we did start with this. Okay, so did I just not read through this? Okay, so before continuing on, practice updating by creating queries and bin functions for updating names of pets and species. Okay, so we have updates for. Okay, so we did one for feeding, and then we wanted names and names. So we should take a look at the code to see what options we have. So if I were to cd it into source, bin. So we have feed pet, update pet name, update species name. Okay, so I think that works. So if I go pets. Oh, bin. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I think we did verify that this is working. So let's say I want to change the name of llama to uppercase that one. So I could do update name. So cargo run, then update pet name. I want 7, new name, llama, and then show pets with the bin. Yeah, okay, so we got that working, and I want to say that we got let's just test the other one too. So cargo run, bin, update species name. We have cat llama, Oregon Junco. Let's capitalize Oregon Junco then. Species IDs, that would be 6. Oregon Junco. Okay. Cargo run, bin, show species. Yes. Okay. So that works perfectly. All right. So I think it's just reviewing this. So let's go through it. Updating a row with diesel. Objectives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to update a single field in a row in the database. Let's add the ability to mark pets as being fed in the database. This will require us to add an update for pets, but only for one of the fields. We don't want to force users to give us the same name for the pet again when feeding them, as that might lead to accidental name changes. Let's start by creating the query in the pet queries file. As normal, we'll need to take in the database connection, but we'll also need to know which pet is being updated, and in this case, when they were last fed. We're returning, well, nothing, since we don't really care about the default return value from the database, which is the number of rows mutated. And since the caller already knows all the relevant information, it's okay just to return nothing, and use that as a way to show that everything worked as expected. This is a design choice. You would want to consider what your library and users need when choosing what to return. Next, we need to add in the update query. We'll use the query builder from Diesel. This might feel a bit odd if you're coming from other ORMs and other languages, as we're not starting from the model, but rather Diesel itself. The update function takes in a filter, which itself takes in what we're filtering by. In this case, the ID of the pet. If you wanted to update all rows in the database, you would not call filter, but instead just pass in the table. Obviously, you want to be careful when writing these mutation queries, as it is very easy to accidentally update more than you want. More than you want if you forget the filter method. Yeah. In a real project, it's recommended to test your mutations on a local database before deploying to production and letting it run against your production database. We call the execute method when we don't have anything specific from the database we want to get back. By default, execute returns the number of rows affected. In this case, we're ignoring that value and letting it drop. Finally, we need to handle the potential error. We can write our bin function to mark a pet, or now we can write our bin function to mark a pet as fed. Set up the boilerplate for the function where we connect to the database. Okay, so we do all that. Next, we need to get the ID of the pet that we're feeding. Our user may not have memorized the IDs for all the pets, so let's show them a list of pets and their IDs. Then we need to get the pet ID from standard in and turn it into a number. It's time to create a time. Oh, right, I forgot that I decided to do that because I thought it would be funny. Toby, hello. How are you doing today? Do I ever do polyglot programming, as in different languages? Yes. I generally choose Rust on this channel whenever I'm choosing something, mostly because it's sort of like a theme that I'm doing, plus I just really like Rust. But for my day job, where I'm contracting with a company that uses JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, CSS, like basically all the standard front-end web languages. I also have, even on stream, we switched over and used some other languages when it makes sense. Like, I think most recently the other language we used was Java. We did a fun project in Java, and then I've also, when I would do like web dev and I would do testing on stream, I use TypeScript and some like one of the testing frameworks in that, because I feel that the web languages have the best front end testing framework. So I tend to use those. Oh, at once in a file. No, in one file? No, I guess it depends upon what you define as like multiple languages in that case. So when I do web dev programming, my framework of choice continues to be Vue. So when I have a choice of doing something, if I can use Vue, I generally will. And that is, that mixes HTML, CSS, and JavaScript or TypeScript, depending upon which one you're using, together in one file. So in that case, yes. Hello World example in C, C++, Lua, Python, and WinBatch. NL stands for new line as Twitch. Yeah, Twitch does mess up formatting. That's too bad that they don't like have the little 3 ticks that I can do and use Markdown. That would be great. That would be an amazing update to Twitch chats. Okay, so you do. Wait a second. You have an exit in there. So hold on. Let me put up chat so you can all see this too. So yeah, you have your define function for all the C stuff. Okay, so you're echoing into a file. Right, because like, oh wait, no, that's just the bash script. So you have your bash script that echoes into a file. Do you have a what is it called? I used to know this. I forget what it's called at the top of the file to tell it what program to use. But then when you exit, doesn't that just exit everything? And it's not going to run and compile everything else. I'm really curious about how this entire thing is supposed to work. Is there like a compiler that can handle compiling, like choosing what things to compile, and then it does it? Or like it runs the appropriate things in there? It only exists if you run it with batch. For with WinBatch. Oh, it only exits if you run it with batch. Huh. And you can run it by each compiler or interpreter. Interesting. You know, I've never heard of that before. I've heard of using not transcription. What's the type of compilation? There's a different word for compilation, but the target is another language and it's exposed to like machine code or something like that. Ahmed, hello. How are you doing today? Transpilation. I think that's what it is. But I'm used to that kind of thing where it would be like you write one and then it transpiles to another language, then transpiles to another language, and then you can like run it through an Ouroboros transpiler, which would basically run it through 100 different compilers. I've never done that before, but I've heard of it, and I've seen like repos that implement it. Oh, it's commenting rules. Okay, hold on. Let me grab this up. I do feel that Helix is not going to be happy with this. I can't imagine Helix is going to be cool with this. So it starts with define, right? So if I copy you, multiple languages, hello world. So let's just drop down into my playgrounds, and we will take multi hello world and let Helix. What should I call this? And what should the extension of this file be? I don't even. Huh. I don't even know what like the appropriate thing to do if it has like multiple names in it. I guess like we call it hello dot, and it wouldn't be C. All the extensions, yes, like hello.c.sh, or if we do in order, hello.c because I was echoing stuff at the beginning, and then C, and then that looks like Python, and then is that C++ afterwards? Usually you use no extensions or .bat because batch refuses to run otherwise. Batch is a Windows thing, right? We're on Mac here, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. So here, we'll do this. Plus more. Plus bat. Okay, so if I go that way, we throw you in here, and so we have to do some fun things. So let's select an L, U, and then we're going to change you to be a new line. Okay, yeah, so I can't try that part. Okay, so I think so let's see. Here's where this is a comment for the shell, essentially. But you do some fun stuff there. These are also comments for something else, and I forget what those are for. Now try syntax highlighting for different languages. Okay, so set language, I guess Bash. So clear screen at echo off. I don't think I've ever used that. Echo that, exit. It also shows those. Oh, dash dash is Lua. Okay, those are comments for Lua. Oh. That's why it looks familiar, but I don't remember it because it's been way too long since I've used Lua. So then if I set language for Lua, oh, I see. So then it's just echo, and then that is fascinating. That feels like a puzzle, like to create this, and then do something with this. Yeah, that is super interesting. C Lua and a Python will probably show up. That's why you love doing it. It's so fun. I can definitely see this being sort of like a fun puzzle to create. Like, it's not just a puzzle as you're solving it that somebody else created. You have to create it yourself too. You just have to decide what to do. And it also allows you to sort of like obfuscate and like potentially hide what's happening because it's just so much noise inside of each program. But yeah, this is really cool. I wonder if I can should be able to, let's see, there's I do need to save this. I should be able to chmod plus x below that and just run it. Although we get more than that, so that bash won't run that. You want to try doing advent of code like this? That feels like you're doing it in super hard mode, but it's it also feels like very artistic, like you're creating art inside the file itself, which is fun. Ahmed, yesterday was your first interview. You're 19 years old and you've been coding for 4 years. I think I did very bad at the interview. I don't know why, but it was because it was my first interview. You were very nervous. That is very, very, very common. It is it's highly recommended that we go out and just interview as often as possible, especially when we're looking for a job, because it interviewing is a separate skill from coding. And like oftentimes the things that they have you do in interviews, you won't be doing normally in coding type way. So you're going to have to practice it. And of course, if it's a new skill, we're going to be terrible at it when we're sort of, well, rusty or you haven't done it before. So try not to, bash yourself down. Just pick yourself back up. Try to remain positive as much as possible. Try to have a network of people that you can just sort of chat with and hang out with, and then just keep on interviewing. generally speaking, when people start feeling that they're getting really good at interviewing, that's usually when they start getting job offers. So it might take you a while, it might take you less time. In the past, it's taken senior devs around a month to get a job and juniors like 3 times that amount. Recently, everything's weird in the market, and so it might be longer, especially right now. The December months is usually when most companies aren't looking to hire, but the ones that are really desperate. So if you might get lucky and get some interviews over the next month, and I would take every single one if I were in your position. Okay, so I don't know if I have Lua. Do I have Lua installed? I don't have Lua installed, but I have Python. I have Python 3 installed, so I can do uh, Python 3. So you don't like that. So okay, so we have, oh, because things are not indented properly in there. Ooh, yeah. So it would need to be indented better for Python. And I think, do I have GCC? I do have GCC. Is it X? It's been so long since I've manually compiled C. Yeah, so like the code for that and language not recognized, C. Do I have to have the C? Is it like that? No input files. Is it? Oh, I need to remove the spaces at the beginning of the lines. Okay. XC without the dash. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Language C without the dash. That doesn't like that. Okay, so there's some little things that it's not happy with. And then if I remove the first line in here. Hey, that one works perfectly. So Python works as expected. But Bash, maybe I have to do bash -x or something. No, the output file. So the output file, if you don't specify an output file, it sets a.out as the output file. So if I try to run, oh, okay, that works. Did we get? Oh, it's just a warning. Okay, for some reason I thought that was an error, and that it didn't work, but it was just a warning, and then actually created it. Oh, Bash won't work. It's Windows Bash. Okay, that's good to know. Anyways, this is really cool. That's a lot of fun. That being said, we are going to continue with this, which is just Rust and DSIL stuff. All right, thank you for showing us that. Okay, so where were we? I think we're in here. This is where my cursor was. Except I don't remember that. Okay, I remember set up the boilerplate for the function where we connect to the database. Oh, it's something, now it's time to get time. Yeah, okay. It's time to create a time. Since we're using naive date time, we'll have to get there through UTC now and call the naive UTC method on it to convert it to the type we want. We now have everything we need to call the update pet last fed function and let the user know that their pet has been fed. Great, now we can run this and update the last fed field for a pet of our choice. And then we actually run it. Before continuing on, practice updating by creating queries and bin functions for updating the names of pets and species. Okay, so I think that's good. which means we can set U. And we wrote update lesson. If you ever need to derail the stream, just let you know. Okay. That's usually not a plan of mine, but generally we'll keep that in mind. Maybe that'd be like a fun command where like if enough people are like derail, then we can do something like that. All right. So delete would be next. Now I don't have a delete in here, so we're gonna have to write new diesel delete. Okay, deleting a row with diesel. Objectives. Okay, I am a big fan of teaching both soft delete and hard delete because I know that some people who take these only know hard delete. And while that's good to know, permanently deleting things, every single company that I've worked for really hates the idea of permanently deleting anything from users, especially since users sometimes ask to undelete it later. So we should basically do a hard delete. Yeah, that's fine. Delete a row from the database. And then describe what soft deleting a row is. Soft delete a row from the database. And then handle soft deleted rows when querying for handle soft deleted rows when querying for I think that's it. You don't know what diesel feeding and pets have in common, but it sounds morbid. Yes. So diesel is an ORM in Rust. And we can go to our website for this. Not our website. This is Diesel's website. So basically, it's just an ORM for Rust. It's named Diesel. I'm not 100% sure why they chose to name it Diesel. I guess it's because it powers an application or powers a connection to a database, because database connections sometimes are the heart of a lot of applications, because nothing would really work if you didn't have any kind of permanent storage of data. So I think that's where they're going for with this. It's really fascinating, the names that different creators choose. There's Diesel for this one. There's CORMs, like a bunch of sea and ocean stuff, like themes for that ORM. SQLX is just sort of boring. It's just sequels. There's no theme or, puns around that. I get it. You're a sadist and feed your pets petrol. Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah. Okay. So now let's start going over this, or do I want to? I think that we found is that if we create our code stuff first, so let's we want to create a new bin here. Let's do a hard delete and soft delete all in one. I think I want to do hard delete first because that is what people are familiar with, and then we continue on the lesson by now saying, hey, let's let's hard delete, like let's soft delete these. So if I wanted to delete a pet, that's fine. Okay, so we can hard delete a pet. I can't necessarily hard delete a species because that would affect the pet, which is not great. So let's just hard delete a pet one. So I think we'll do this in one file and then we'll sort of update it to be soft delete afterwards. So let's touch soft. Let's touch and just call it delete pet.rs. And so delete pets. All right, we have all of the fun connection stuff to do first. So wow, typing today is bad. All right, so we get the database URL. I can then connect the database. So connect to DB. We hand it the database URL. Okay, error connecting to database. That's great. Hard delete a pet. That's a very insensitive way of speaking about murder. I think in this way, we're basically going to say that we've sold the pet. The pet has been sold to a happy new owner, right? Like we're not murdering pets here. No, not at all. Yeah, naming a project is a lot like naming a pet. Sometimes you get it just right, and sometimes you name it using your Scrabble letters. Yes, and it's too bad that pets they'll get confused if you keep on renaming them over and over and over again. But let's be honest here, pets always have names that when you get them, and then I think most people rename them when, like, that's what happened to Zilby. Like, he wasn't named Zilby at the shelter. He had a cheese-based name. I think his name originally was Asiago. Yeah, he was Asiago, and we renamed him to Zilby. But he was 10 weeks old or so. So he doesn't care. He can learn a new name. Okay, so we get our new database connection, and we want to then I want to print out all of the pets that we're going to the show. So let's do I think let's just for pet in, what is it? Get all pets. Get all pets. Hand it the DB. Expect getting all pets. Okay, so that gets us a pet like this. And we're just gonna, oh, I want a print line probably in here. So print line. Which pet is no longer in the store. Let's do that. Which pet is no longer in the store? Pet ID is no longer in the store. Let's do that to make it a little bit more obvious that we're not causing pets to be unalive anymore. They are happily let's actually just say that. Which pet ID has been adopted? Okay. All right. So for that, which pet we get on all pets, then I want to print line. We're gonna have the ID, or maybe we'll just do we have pet, yeah, pet name, and then the ID. So that would be pet.name, pet.id. Okay. I think that's all I really care about here. So if we start you, I wonder if you're gonna be able to see this. So we do a cargo run bin delete pet. Yeah, you can see that just fine. So there we go. That looks fine. So once we have that, now I want to print line get, so I don't have the print line anymore. We want to now get the ID that we want to mark as removed, / in this case, remove them from the database permanently. So we would get let user input equals a string new. Standard, was it IO? I always forget. Oh, standard in. Just do standard in. Read line, please. User input, expect error getting pet ID from user. Okay, so we've now got this in here, but I need to turn this into an ID so that our pet ID equals user input. We need to trim this, and we need to parse you. You will figure out what you're supposed to do. So we can expect you error converting user input into number. Let's see. So once we have the pet ID, I then, we actually need to write the query, don't we, for this? So this is pet queries. Pub function hard delete pet. Taking the DB, and we'll take in the ID. Return a result, and again, nothing in there. And for this one, I think it's just diesel delete. And then we have to use the filter for this. So I want pets table pets table filter. Yeah, there it is. Filter. Wait, self? That's wrong. Is it? Oh, it's dot filter. So dot filter. 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 Okay. And then our predicate. So we want pets. Predicate sounds wrong. Hold on. This is the wrong filter. Did I somehow add in the wrong thing? I think I want, see. I mean, is it actually a predicate? Oh, yeah, okay. Actually, so that is what I want. So then I want pets DSL ID is equal to ID. And then execute, end of the DB, give it some context. Hard deleting pet, and we return that. What are you upset with? Mismatch types, expected a result, nothing. Oh, yes. So question mark U and return like that. Okay. So now we can do hard delete pet. So we now have our pet ID. I want to hard delete pet. PG connections, that's our DB. And then we have our pet ID and expect error deleting pet. Okay. So this should now work. Oh, and then we probably want to just say pet line pet name. We actually don't know what the name is. So pet has been removed from the database. Okay, so let's try this. So if we run you again, and then down here we can also table pets and actually take a look at what happens here. So let's say I want to delete. Let's delete llama because llama is not really real pet that we have. So we'll just say llama was adopted out. So I want 7. Pet has been removed from the database. And if we do another table here, llama is gone. So there we go. So let's start with this. And there's no, yeah, okay. We'll start with this one. So we're going to start with create a hard delete pet. Let's begin with creating the delete pet function in the pet queries.rs file. Okay. Since we only need the connection and the ID in order to delete a pet, we'll I don't like the order of that. So let's just we take in the database connection as well as the pet ID. Actually, don't know if I need any of that. We take in the database connection as well as the pet ID since that's all we need to know. Pet ID. since this can have an error in it, we will return an error, and like the update method, will return nothing or return that. However, it is also valid to return the number of deleted pets if we want. Okay. Deleting is very similar to updating. There is a method on, or I guess like we run the diesel method, right? We run the diesel function. Okay, so we run the diesel function and pass in a filter. This filter is very important. Without it, we would end up deleting all of the pets in the database. Since this is yeah, without it, we end up deleting all the pets in the database. Okay, so we have our RS. So then we're just going to add NU. Like that. Okay, so diesel, delete, pet stable filter. We do all that fun stuff. Execute DB, context, hard deleting pet. Okay. And this is all that we need for deleting a pet. Let's here's the full function. Okay, there we go. So the full function for this. Next, we'll create the bin command for deleting a pet. Since deleting pets sounds okay, so do the next one later. So we'll just do for you, we'll do touch. What was it? It was delete pet address, and then that was actually source bin delete pet rs. There we go. Okay. Okay, so next we'll create the bin command for deleting a pet, and set or write the boilerplate for the command. Okay. So I don't need any view. We just want all of you. Okay, so connecting to the database. All right. So in to call the function, what is it? Delete pet function. We'll need to have the pet have the user give us the pet ID. Let's call the get all pets function and display them to the screen so that our user can see what pets we have and their IDs. Then we can ask them which pet to delete. However, deleting pets. Actually, you know what? Let's just start with this. Pet to delete. So I kind of want to do this right here. We're just going to say print line what pet ID should be deleted, and then later on we're going to do the soft delete, and then we're going to change that to be a little bit nicer, and the text will be which pet has been adopted or something like that, like what pet is no longer in the store, something like that. But okay, so error. So okay, so we get that, and this should work. And the only thing here changed here is the print line. So let's do there. That looks better. Okay, so for pet and get all pets, expect error getting all pets, print line. We do that stuff. Print line, what pet should be deleted. Okay, excellent. Okay. Next we need to capture the ID of the pet from the user and convert it into a number. So that's you. Okay. Finally, we can call the delete pet query, and okay, so finally we can call the delete pet query and to remove the pet from the database and let the user know that it has been done. Okay. Here's what here's what everything. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Or I guess like here's the entire delete pets that are s command so far. I do like to do this where I just have everything in here and like show off the entire file, because I've taken so many tutorials in the past where like it'll just show like what I've been doing, where it's like, okay, each piece at a time, but at the end they don't show like, and here's everything together, or in between sections there's like, here's what we have so far. Because if you get off track, if like something happens in the middle of it where it's like, hey, this didn't work anymore, and you don't have like a way to like reset, then it's so hard to get back on track as a learner. So I do enjoy. I do like to put this in here as like sort of checkpoints constantly. And here's what it looks like in when running it. Okay. So then this is our shell. And we can actually see this one. So let's remove. Which one should we remove? Let's remove. Let's remove. Let's actually remove. We'll remove 6. Okay, so then cargo run. We do all that stuff, and then we come out to here. Okay, cargo run, bin, delete pet, compiling, all that stuff. We have you. What pet should be deleted? We put in you. Pet has been removed from the database. Okay, and then there we go. Okay, excellent. All right, so let's add in a new section here for soft deleting. So soft deleting. Maybe before then it's like we like this. Okay, soft deleting. In the previous, or in the code we've written so far, we are permanently removing pets from the database. I mean, this, when we think of deleting, this makes sense, right? I'm looking at the word sense and is like, is that right? Did I spell that correctly? I mean, I think I did, but my brain doesn't see that as correctly spelled, which is, but I don't think an S goes there. So I'm going to leave it and let the spell checker, when we do the spell check on the entire project later, it'll catch it or not. Okay, so in the code we've written so far, we are permanently removing pets from the database. When we think of deleting this, this makes sense. I think that's a comma there. This makes sense. However, in most real world applications, we don't want to remove rows from the database. What if we accidentally, what if the user accidentally deleted a pet? What if we wanted to see, a list of all pets that we used to have. There are a lot of reasons a business might want to keep deleted data around. And they can always permanently, that's definitely misspelled, permanently delete rows later if they want. Enter soft deleting. This is where instead of removing items from the database, we mark the row. We mark the pet as being deleted, either with a Boolean or more commonly with a timestamp. The timestamp is nice because it lets us see when the pet was deleted. Let's add soft deleting to our project. Of course, we'll first need to add the ability to soft delete a pet in the database, as we don't have a column to indicate if the pet is deleted or not. Most commonly, or like, but the standard, the default, I guess, most commonly, the field deleted at is used. We'll need to create a new migration to add this this in. So we'll do probably shell first. Okay, so over here, that's behind chat. Let's jump into the base of the project and we'll do, I think it was diesel. Yeah, diesel migration generate, and then we'll add deleted at to pets. No such file or directory code diesel course migrations. I'm in diesel course right here. There's a migrations right there. It's diesel migration generate, add deleted at to pets. That didn't do it, right? Yeah, that didn't. Why are you yelling at me? I mean, yeah, of course there's no file for that yet. It's supposed to create it. What did I do wrong? Diesel migration generate. Can I do in -H? Okay. Migration name table name. Huh. Oh, I've never used table names for that. I've always just done migration name for this. It should grab this from the .env because we have that here already. Migration. Okay, so this is all default. I don't want a no down. I want it to create the down. Okay, let's try this again. Diesel, migrate, what is it? Migrations? This is migrations, right? Migration. Generate. I mean, maybe add deleted at to pets. No such file or directory for... Why? It's supposed to be adding that. Is generate not right? Okay, hold on. What did I do before? Diesel migration generate. Yeah, we did add last fed to pets. I did that fine. Yeah, like these are all the fun things that I've done before. And those are all have worked as expected. So deleted at pets. What am I doing wrong? I'm in the root of the project. We have our .env here. That .env should be fine. Oh wait, diesel Domo. What do I have in here? I mean, that's just where the schema goes. And that's where the migrations go. But that's no problem. It should be able to write that in there. Huh. All right. Well, debugging time. What's going on? Countered an IO error. No such file or directory. I mean, that file shouldn't be in there already. Hold on. Diesel. Yeah, okay. So commands. Migration. A group of commands for generating, running, and reverting migrations. Missing Brooks built. Hold on. Oh, I put this into the wrong directory. I totally forgot. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I think when we originally created this, I accidentally put it into my root, into code, and then I moved it later into Brooks builds, and I didn't update this. Okay, let's do that. So, diesel toml. I have Brooks builds with a dash, right? Code. All right, let's try this again. Add deleted at two pets. There we go. Thank you for that, Isatsu. That was a fun one. Okay. Yes, looking at the actual error would have helped in reading the full error message and like noticing that. Okay, so we add you in. Let's throw you. Okay, so diesel migration generate add deleted at to pets. So that updates that. For the up.sql file, will alter the table to add the deleted at field and set it to be a what did we say for last fed timestamp z. Set it to be a timestamp z type. Since we need to have this field be nullable, since we only set this when a pet has been deleted. Okay. So this will be SQL. Okay. Add less fets. Wait. That's last feds. So I want to add deleted at to pets. Okay, there we go. Your SQL goes here. So we can actually just remove this and we will say alter table pets, add column, deleted at, and then it is, I think everything, nullable is default. Oh, I constantly forget if nullable is default or if I have to add a not null, but you'll be a timestamp z. I mean, yeah, I don't have to say nullable, I don't think. I think not null is what I have to put in. I could do default null, but I don't think I need to do that either because I think this just works. Okay. So throw in there like that. Don't forget to add the to drop the column in the down.sql file. This is add deleted at down, alter table pets, drop column deleted at. Okay, simple. Let's run this and check the database to make sure that it looks good. To make sure that the table properties are what we want. Okay, so this is shell. Okay, so where are we? We're over here. So we're gonna do what is it called? Diesel migration run, I think. Do I have? Oh, I still have that thing in there. I thought I got rid of that. The log, because it hasn't been happening for a while. I guess I didn't. I must have another one here somewhere, but this works, right? It did its thing. Running migration. Okay, hold on. Let me. Now I won't have anything to run, but I can still grab this. Okay. But then I'm also going to put in you. We're going to come down here. We're going to do a DS. So describe, is it describe? I forget what the S is for, but pets, like that. And we can now see deleted at, okay, yeah,